Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Sodbusters Metal Detecting Live here. Hey, we got us a pretty good show up ahead of us here. I got some exciting news from Brian, who was on the last live stream last week, and he's got a story to tell us. He's also got his hunting partner Dave with him this evening, and they're gonna tell a story of an adventure that they went on and a really exciting trip. Just wait till you hear it. It's pretty exciting. So anyway, right now we don't have. Well, let's see, we got 7 people viewing right now. You guys go ahead and put your comments in the comment box there, and let me know who you are and where you're from. But in the meantime, here I just want to give a couple of quick announcements. One of them is some of you have been asking about Sodbusters metal detecting merch, and I am going to be putting a link. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find it here. Well, let's see. Nope, that's not it. I got to find my merch link here, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you down another link here for those of you who are looking for metal detecting equipment. So right there is outlawmetaldetectors.com, and you guys can get your metal detecting supplies there. I'm an affiliate with Dan over there at Outlaw Metal Detectors. He's a great guy to work with. And if you guys are looking for metal detecting supplies or metal detectors, anything like that, get a hold of him or get a hold of me, and we'll help you out, get you set up. All right, so we got Charles Broussard. Is that? I hope I pronounced that correctly. Probably not, but welcome. And Homestead Hunter Rick, good to have you here. Diggin' Richmond, how you doing? Good to see you. Dwight Pickens, let's see here. Joe Wissing, Ski Searcher, Ralph Rosama, Larry Swanson, Olin Borden, Don Garner. Wow, there's a bunch of you here. Malka to Malkai, Cleansing Patrick. Oh, Patrick T. Okay, we'll go with that. That's easier for me. All right. Joe Albino and Richard Smith and Ry Patron. It's good to see all you guys here. If I missed anybody here, forgive me for that. The chat goes by faster than I can read, and I know a lot of you don't believe that, but yeah, I can read sometimes. But anyway, the cat in the hat. All right. Well, you guys, I want to get going with this story for you guys, but let me introduce you to, I'm going to bring them on right now. Brian. Here we go. There's Brian.
Hey, guys.
Yeah. And is it Rick?
Dave.
Dave. Okay, Dave. So Dave, wow, Martin, thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Let me. There we go. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. That kind of helps me keep the channel going and keep things moving forward here. I really appreciate it. So anyway, so Brian and Dave went out last week, and it was just, I think, the day after we went on live stream last week. Wasn't it like on Saturday you guys went out?
I believe it was Monday. Monday. Yeah, Monday.
Oh, it was Monday. Okay. Well, I got a text from Brian, and he says, "You are not going to believe this." And I'm like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me. The guy found a gold coin or something." But so anyway, Brian's been kind of helping me out with research stuff because that's one thing that I think that as detectorists and treasure hunters, that is probably one of your biggest things that you should know is your research. You got to have a place to go to metal detect, and if you don't have a place to go, then obviously you're probably not going to do too well finding treasure. But Brian has been, I watched some of his videos. Let me see if I can get on here and let me click this off here for a minute. I'm going to try to set up this. Okay, Dirt Bandit Outdoors, you guys, is Brian's YouTube channel. And that's a channel you're going to want to check out. He has a lot of good resources as far as researching for online maps, how to do overlays and all kinds of stuff. And that's something that I'm trying to learn. I'm finding it to be kind of a learning curve, but Brian's really good at it. And so he's kind of helping me along here. And I find his channel to be extremely valuable. So anyhow, we're going to let Brian and Dave tell the story here and just paint the picture for us, you guys. I'm excited to hear about it.
The compliments to the channel and everything. And, I do my best to help you guys out and show you the best tools to research good spots to go detecting. And so anyway, I've got this access to this old map specific to Oregon and a few other random states. But I found a location right below this really popular spot to go detecting, and it was on a part of a map. And it was probably about 2 miles south of that really popular area. And the map was dated back to about 1865. And I figured it's a spot where nobody else has hit before. And so I just decided to give it a try. And Dave and I parked along the side there, and we walked about 3/4 of a mile down this whole dirt road and down this the side of this mountain, and detected along the way, found some square nails, and decided to head down this old Chinese dug ditch. I'm not sure if a lot of you guys are familiar with mining, but back in the day, they used to dig, the Chinese and stuff used to dig these ditches to divert the water for hydraulic mining. And they would shoot the water through this big old steel, hose, and use that to just kind of blow away the mountain and kind of go through that and then find all the gold. So anyway, we decided to follow this ditch down to the creek, and didn't take us long. It wasn't very far, but it was pretty steep. And so we get down to the bottom, and I realized I don't have my pinpointer on me after getting a target. And those things are, I use the White's, I forgot what it's called, but the White's pinpointer, it's like $125. I had to head back all the way up to the mountain to remember, my last spot I dug, and wasn't there, and my heart just sank. So I had to go all the way back down, and I remembered I hopped over this bigger ditch, and just so happened to be right there, luckily. So anyway, we both went back down to where these old cabins were that I found on my map, and I went and swung one way, and I got a 14-15 signal if I remember correctly, and then I swung over further to the left, and I got a higher pitch signal. It was like a 20-21, and I decided to dig that higher pitch target, and it turned out to be a really old miner's pickaxe. So I thought that was pretty cool, and put that next to the tree so I can go back there and get it later. And I swung back over that target, the first target, dug it out, and it was a little fragment of a little silver coin. And we didn't know what it was at first. So I called over to Dave, and I said, hey, man, I just got this piece of this little silver coin. It looks like it's chopped. It reminded me of one of those Spanish real coins that, they used to chop up. And, there was Spaniards in my area, so I was kind of sort of thinking it was that until I started to see the real nice edge, because I knew it was an American coin. And we both thought it was a barber, like maybe they just cut up a barber coin. And so that was great. And I put that in my little finds pouch, and then I I decided to go back over my hole, and I got a higher pitch signal, and I started using my pinpointer, and before you knew it, I had a couple big old piles of silver fragments, and I called Dave over, and he started going through those, and started going through all those coins, rubbing them off while I was digging them out, and he's like, "Hey, you just got a 1860 coin here," and I'm like, "What? Are you kidding me?" He's like, "Yeah, that's a seeded, looks like a seeded $50." And man, I just got so excited after that, and we just kept digging them out. And before you knew, I thought we had about 6 coins that day, and then I got home and put them in a little one of those vitamin bottles, and I just kind of shook it up with water, get all the dirt off, and I'm not going to hurt them any more than they're already hurt. So I wasn't too worried about scratches or anything. So I went through them all, and I found 10 seeded $50. So yeah, it was incredible. I never thought I would find a seeded $50 and find 10 in one hole. I mean, they were all cut up, but man, that was a fantastic day.
So this is the pile here after you just got done cleaning them?
Yeah.
And you've got 10 dates right there, huh?
Yeah, 10 dates. And I went through actually a couple days ago, and I went and to see if I could find any mint marks, and there was 8 S mint marks. So I'm pretty sure they were mostly all S mints on those.
San Francisco.
Yeah, San Francisco. Okay. Yeah, which makes sense because I'm in Southern Oregon. So.
And what was the oldest piece that you found in there?
The oldest was 1860, and the newest was 1866.
So they're all seeded.
Yeah.
Wow.
As far as I can tell, most of the fragments say, like, the ones I can see say like half and then dollar on a lot of them.
Okay.
So,
well, Diggin' Richmond right now is asking if you knew if there was any reason why they cut those coins, if you might know anything about that.
Dave says mental illness, but that could be one reason. There's 101 reasons why they would do something like that. I can only speculate, but a lot of people are saying there's 2 popular reasons. One was to melt them down into silver ingots because the smaller size coins would melt faster. That's just one theory. Another theory is maybe they were using them for like fraction of like just 1 cent instead of having a 50-cent piece. You'd cut them up and then have like basically pocket change. Mm-hmm. That's another theory, but those are the 2 popular ones. Other than that, I have no idea why. And they were all found within an area of probably about the size of a dinner plate, and anywhere from the surface, or not the surface, maybe a few inches down, all the way to about 8 inches down.
Wow. It's hard to say, and you can tell from this picture right here that it's just really rough cut. That wasn't a shear that cut them. That was, I think Dave mentioned earlier that a cold chisel probably is what cut these coins here.
Yeah, that looks that makes sense. Being a cold chisel, I mean, looking at how they were cut, I don't think a hatchet would have left that clean of a mark. So definitely, you're right. Definitely a cold chisel on that one.
Yeah. Now that's amazing. Was there any features? Now, so this is a hydraulic mining pit, right? Is that
the mining? It wasn't a pit.
It's a it's placer mining, but specifically, I'm pretty sure it was a hydraulic mining area, just because those ditches, that was pretty indicative of hydraulic mining. Having those
transferring the water.
Yeah, and I don't. Based on the location and how much they mined, I don't think they were there as long as they were with that old ghost town that was near where this location was. Mm-hmm. So,
is there any existing features around it all that you noticed, or is it all pretty much gone now?
No, it's all basically gone. There's remnants of old mining shacks that were once there. We've got old soldered cans, stove jacks, that kind of stuff, but no existing like structures or anything.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So how long did it take you? Let's see here. If from the time you found your first piece until I think you told me it got dark and you guys had to get going, or it was getting dark. How long was that time frame that it took you to find all these pieces?
Hour is all we had.
About an hour, I believe, maybe
Really?
45 minutes, something like that. I remember talking to Dave saying that, maybe we should start heading out about 2:30 because, out in the mountains where we live, 2:30 isn't that late, but that sun goes over the mountain right about that time, and we lose light pretty quick. So, and the mountain is pretty steep. We didn't want to stay out there too long, and I didn't think we would get lost, so I just wanted daylight enough to be able to get out of there. But yeah, it was about 45 minutes maybe to dig all those out. It was just, with the pinpointer, just one after another. So,
wow. Yeah, that's amazing.
And,
Seeded coin is one of my bucket listers. I haven't found a seeded yet. You go out and you find 10 partials of a seeded anyway. So that's amazing. That's really a neat find. It just brings a lot of in most cases with metal detecting, it seems like everything we find usually brings up more questions than it does answers.
yeah.
And here's another example of that right now. But
And that's part of the fun about this hobby is just kind of thinking about why did they do this, or how did this get here? Just kind of wondering about the past.
I'll be darned. So let me take a look at what we've got here for questions now. You guys have got a lot of questions coming through here. And it's coming by pretty quick. So I'm not probably going to be able to get all of you, but let me kind of scroll through here and see what I can find.
There was one that stood out to me. I think his name was Fuzzy, if I remember that right.
Okay.
A little farther up. I for some reason can't scroll up on my computer.
Is it this one? From Shasta County?
Yeah.
Okay. My
question. Cool question, but.
Yeah, he says, do you get a lot of no answers when asking for permission? Also, how do you find out who owns it? Say an empty lot in the city or county limits.
Yeah, so I actually go over that a lot in my videos. That's one of the things that some of the maps I use let you know who owns the property. So, we got permission and contacted the landowner, and I do get my fair share of no's, but you just got to keep doing it. And I think that face-to-face is better. It'll give you more chances of getting yeses. I think it's a lot easier over the phone to tell you no, but although Larry does seem to have a lot of luck with phone calls. It seems like anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I think you gotta build that trust first, whether you're face to face or on the phone. But if you just write a letter or an email or something like that, more than likely it's going to be a no because you're not building any relationship there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Cold weather here in Tennessee. Yep, here in Idaho too. We got snow on the ground, ice on the ground. All right, let's see here.
So Fuzzy also, if says, how do I find my own permission or find out who owns the property? I've got a lot of resources on my channel. So if you go Dirt Bandit Outdoors and you go under the what do you call that? Why can't I think of the name right now? Anyway, go under my channel, you'll see a lot of these like Gaia GPS. I know I've done a few videos on that. If you go check those out, I've definitely have some resources on there that'll show you how to find out who owns the property.
Another one I use is OnX Hunt, and that if you purchase that, then it'll give you the name of the landowner for the state that you choose, or if you choose the upgraded version, it'll give you all states. But you have to do your research and find out your contact information from there.
You can also go to your county tax assessor's office, and they'll give you that information too if you know where the property is. So.
All right. So now this is just really interesting. I saw this. I was watching a movie and I saw this picture pop up because he says, "You're not going to believe this." And I'm sitting on the couch watching a movie with my wife, and all I could think of is that turkey. He went out and found a gold coin. I'll just bet you. And I says, "What'd you find?" You know, and he sent the picture, and the first picture he sent was this one here. And I was like, "Holy cow!" He found a cache, and to me it looked like this was a container full of chopped coins, you know, or cut coins, but that's actually just a container you carry with you for your finds, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I had a lot of questions like, "Oh, did you find it in that container?" I'm like, "No, that's just my good finds container. It was all mixed in the dirt, and I had to dig them all up and put them in there."
Yeah. No, that's really interesting. And what did you say that the silver weighed out to?
A little over 2 ounces. I had them in little plastic baggies when I weighed them, and they were just over. It's like 2.3 ounces. So
what were your thoughts, Dave, when all this was taking place?
Well, what that was, first and foremost, you fellows are talking about research, and none of this would have happened without Brian's research, what he did. With his apps and his overlays, and he's been doing this quite a bit, and he's getting better at it. We would never have known about the place. In fact, that was not our first choice that day. That was just a second thought. Where we were headed was an entirely different area. We went up so high, we couldn't get over the mountain because of snow. So it was like, well, now what do you want to do? Go home? He said, well, I've been checking out this other location. So we went over there, and we were just zigzagging and searching as we're going downhill, which I didn't realize how far down we went because it about killed me going back up. Because he's kind enough to bring his senior friend with him, on a day outing. So we found the location where these cabins had been, and it wasn't any foundations or anything there, but you can find some of the square nails and some of the indications, some of the cans, the soldered bottoms, and I found an ox shoe and a suspender strap. And when he found that first little piece, I came over. I assumed called it a piece of a barber dime, having no idea how far off I was on that one. And so he stayed in that area, and I went around just searching, and I came back and had a whole pile of this stuff. And that's where I discovered, hey, you got dates here on these, 1860, 64, 61. I had found 6 of them, and I guess he found 4 more dates after he got home and cleaned them up. So that makes 10 coins. We only came across this though because of his research on this. You would never know there was anything there. In fact, tomorrow we'll take more pictures just to give an overlay of what the location looks like. And we'll have, I don't know, we'll use some reference points. I'll take a picture of Brian standing there so you can get an idea of the outlay. And whatever else you find, we'll just have a measuring stick there, 1 foot measuring ruler. Yeah. And give you an idea of the scope or the scale of it. And so when he's involved in that, my plan tomorrow is do a little recon and just go all the way around there and just seeing if I come across any concentration of things. And we'll check it out. And it's an effort to get down there, more of an effort to get up, but I think it has a lot of potential. There's no indication that anyone's ever detected there. No indication of any bottle digging there, anything else. It's just like he stumbled across it. So the credit for all that goes to Brian. Otherwise, we would have just had nowhere to go. And the other location, we'll do that later in the year when there's no snow. We got stuck on that. And after all, it is a hobby. It wasn't our lives didn't depend on it. So that's where we turned around. Yeah. It turned out really well for 2 reasons. He lost a pinpointer and somehow he found it out there. Backtracking, which I've done
that. That's a scary feeling.
We all have. And it was a 1 in a million shot finding that thing.
Just with an orange cap, a pretty small thing to find,
Just when he jumped the ditch, I think it popped out. And I'm really glad that Brian found all those fragments, because I say it was his research that brought us there. Yeah. And I was glad just to be there to see it unfold. I mean, it's a mystery. The who and the why we'll never know. But to have all those fragments together with the backstory on it and pictures of the location is worth having. And tomorrow, well, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Initially, I thought, boy, oh boy, I don't know if I want to go back down there and climb back up again. But then I had to go for the sequel. I had to go back,
Yeah, you bet. You never know what's left.
And,
Brian told me, I don't know if he had discussed this with you, but he told me that if he could tell his story on the live tonight, that he would send me all of the silver that he found that day, plus the silver he's going to find and the gold, and anything that you find too, he's going to send to me as well.
Well, I think only half of that could be true.
Oh, man.
We'll see.
That's envious. Up here, we can't even, we've got snow on the ground.
Yeah.
I think Rye Patch Ron, I saw a post from him here today that he got out for about an hour today, and the ground is frozen about, once you get past a couple inches or something like that, but it's just mud on top. Because we recently had a bunch of snow. We got some cold weather, and then right down to, well, we had -0. We had -2 degrees, I think. I can't remember what it got down to. I think it was like -2 about a week ago. But here the last couple of days, it's been warming up, and we've actually gotten a little bit of rain and stuff. So right now, our detecting is pretty much on hold for now. So I was envious that you guys were able to get out there. I know people across the country in different areas are able to detect. Some of them say, "Oh, it's a cold 60 degrees." I'm like, "Get out of here!" So
yeah, it's been kind of a warm winter so far. We've had our snow, but it's been like in the 50s for the past like 4 or 5 days now. So we're still in January and shouldn't be that warm.
A lot of people ask, I found in the past, like on TreasureNet and other things, well, what detector we're using, what were your settings? There was no special settings on any of this stuff. We were both using an Equinox. And when I'm out there in a place like that, I'm using normally field 1. I have 0 iron discrimination, and the sensitivity is about 20. The only thing I did different is that the mineralization was so high, it was up in the 40s, which normally around here where we live is 6, 7, or 8. So I just put it on automatic tracking to let it adjust itself. But other than that, it was just, you know how it is. Most of you guys do. You can take one step to the left or right and completely miss that spot.
Oh, yeah.
So no special settings. It was just the luck of the draw. And you never know. So hopefully tomorrow we'll come across something again. It's like, are you kidding me? One of those. Yeah. And we'll see what we have maybe to show you. But we're going to give it a good shot tomorrow. We'll have more time to do it because we won't be sidetracked by going to a different location and going around and hiking. We're going right there and right to that spot and get started.
Yep.
You bet.
So we were both using field 1. I
was using field 1. When I'm in parks or something, just for something to do, I use field 2 for me. But out there, it's field 1. We can even experiment tomorrow by going to a single frequency, 5. Try that for copper, silver, brass. And we're going to play around with it. But Brian's going to take more pictures to give you a better scope of the whole thing.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, I'd be interested to see more of the overall picture there. But so all you have to do is put an X on the map for me.
All right.
And just tell me where to go, and I'll show you what you missed. How's that?
All right.
Hey, I appreciate that.
No, it's a lot of times. You guys can set it up with whatever settings you want to, and just but a lot of times, I mean, you hear so many stories of somebody that just went and bought the cheapest metal detector they could find or what they could afford, and it may be a $60 metal detector, and they go out there and they find this hoard of treasure in England or something,
Absolutely. Yeah. We've
and
seen this
it's
happen.
just a matter of getting over it in a lot of cases, being in the right spot,
Yeah.
But we got to just try and learn our equipment the best that we can, and if we know our equipment and then get on the right spot, then
Yeah,
it
that's
just benefits us that way.
and the research definitely helps. It's you can get lucky and stumble on an old site, but it definitely helps knowing beforehand, where you're going to be going. And I'm always doing research, so I never go to a spot just randomly anymore. It's always thought out. But in the place I went to, we only went to maybe about two of the old cabin sites. There's 6 of them that are there. So plus the surrounding area. So we haven't even barely scratched the surface. We just got lucky and got that one good target, and so we're pretty optimistic that we're going to find some cool stuff when we get back there.
It does get you a little bit fired up.
Yeah, it'll give you incentive to keep on hunting the area. You bet. So Jersey Ray Diggs says it's going to be 16 degrees there tomorrow in Jersey. Okay, so
that's a little cold.
Yeah.
I think California, North Cal Digger said it was 66 where he's at.
Yeah. Well, that's warm. That's summertime there.
I know. Yeah.
66 degrees. I wish I had that. Oh, man. So Right Patch Ron says he uses a 10 frequency, not 5. He was telling me about a setting that he uses. I'm not able to recall what he said right now, but he said he seems to be getting more depth out of the single frequency. So, but yeah, depending on, was there a lot of iron where you guys were hunting?
Yeah, was.
There is.
Yeah, there was where that old where the first old cabin was. The first cabin we went to, it looked like it was in a wash area where they hydraulically mined. Because you can see it looked like it was right in the middle of this big creek. It looked like, so there was this big concentration of cans and iron around, and I only found like maybe one decent target. It was like a bullet. So after about 15 minutes, I moved on from there, and then I wasn't getting so much iron. We didn't really detect that far until I hit those coins. So I only hit that pickaxe. So.
Yeah.
But Dave found more cans a little ways away. So, yeah, there was a fair amount of iron.
Right.
Well, the multi-frequency actually handles ground mineralization a lot better, but there's a lot of applications at times for the single frequencies. And there's nothing wrong with the 10 or even the 15 because, once upon a time, everything was single frequency. And they started out at 8 as standard. Then they went up to about 15.
Yeah.
All of these multi-frequencies with a MINELAB Safari I've had, or I still have, that handled it really, really well. But the response time was so much slower than the Equinox. And so I'm going to try the 5 and the 10 tomorrow in that area just to see. But in general, I just normally use the field 1 and 2. It works good for me personally, but everybody has their own favorites, their own settings, their own brands, in fact. So
you bet.
It's just metal detecting is just an avocation. You have to be extremely stubborn to stick with it. So we're all stubborn people.
Yeah, you bet. You bet.
And it's a hobby, Once you do it as long as you can.
Right.
So
we've got somebody here from we've got Magni. Is that how you pronounce that? Magni 1. From London, England. Wow. You must be probably about 2:00 in the morning or something right now, aren't you?
I think it's about an 8-hour time difference between them and us.
I'll be darned. Up late. Well, I know that
right.
there's a lot of times I don't get to sleep at night because I'm thinking about different things, places to go, trying to research different areas. And once my head gets to spinning in that direction, I can't get to sleep.
I know. I've been that way this whole week.
Yeah, you're anticipating tomorrow.
I am.
Finding more of that cut silver and stuff. Hopefully you can find some whole pieces. That would be great.
I hope
If you
so,
find
yeah.
some an entire seated 50-cent piece or something. That
That would be nice. And right, Pat, you're on that reminded me of a question he asked earlier. I think he asked if we found any Chinese coins, but no, we didn't. I was anticipating finding them, but we didn't find it, not yet, anyway. And I expect that we probably will, though.
So NorCal Digger wants to know if you took any video of the finds that you did.
I did, yeah.
You did video. Okay, I'm looking forward to that video. So
I forgot to mention that I still need to edit it, but I plan on this Sunday or Monday having it out.
That's awesome.
Then, there should be a part 2, so that'll be the following Sunday or Monday.
Awesome. Okay, so and again, that's at Dirt Bandit Outdoors.
Yes, sir.
That's his YouTube channel. So, but let's see here. Minus 22 degrees.
Gee.
Wow.
Holy cow. Digging Canucks. You're in the cold country. You're going to have to take a hairdryer out there and thaw the ground out so you can go metal detecting. You can put it on one of those external batteries and just heat everything up.
Yeah. They blow torch.
Dig it before it freezes again real quick.
Yeah.
I'll be darned. Mississippi, 80% on permissions. Wow.
That's good.
Non-garner. That's a really good percentage rate right there. So got
Must
some
be a really good
easygoing folk over there. Yeah. Awesome. No, I'm looking forward to that video for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm at probably like I don't really knock on a lot of doors. I get kind of intimidated sometimes. So it takes me, you get those butterflies in your stomach right before you park and you're just like, oh, what are they going to say? And sometimes they chicken out, but I don't know. I think for me, it's like a 60 or 70%, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't knock on like 10 doors in one day. It's maybe a few.
So where you found, I'm going to put up these pictures again here, but where you found, let me take this out. Trying to get the picture up there again. There we go. So where you found the silver and stuff, is that like state ground or is it private or?
It was private. We wound up getting permission on that.
Good deal. Good deal. That's awesome. Look at those pieces. You guys are really rough cut. But it like I say, it brings so many questions because this isn't even pieces it doesn't look like they were cut for a certain weight. They look to be cut in just oddball shapes, and I don't know, almost like a kid got a hold of them or something.
Yeah, they're like you said, they weren't uniform pieces. I mean, there's some bigger than others. So
what a find, though. I mean, that's really neat. It's just interesting.
Yeah, that was my oldest coin. Before that was a 1903. I think I showed it in the last video that we did. 1903 barber quarter. And I never thought I would find, a seeded anything. I just thought I was maybe unlucky, but go find a seeded, and it turned out to be a big old, confetti bomb of seeded $50. Just.
Well, I would not cry about that one bit whatsoever.
No. Certainly like those whole coins, but I'll take bits and pieces of one, I guess.
So, you guys have any questions for Brian? Any questions about his research or how much silver he's going to mail to me
Yeah.
tomorrow. Oh boy. Where are you at, Charles? Sending a picture from the beach tomorrow. Well, you guys are making me jealous being able to get out there and metal detect. All right. So we're going to need an update for sure. You know, if you get back out there and find more silver and stuff, we're going to want to see that added onto your video there. That'd be awesome. Did you see my post on why those coins might have been cut up? Yeah, we put that up there, Fuzzy. I know in the old days they used to, you know, colonial times they would cut for change, but I've never quite seen. I think I just lost Brian here for some reason. I'll have to send him an invite again. Let me send this over to him. Well, let's see here. Okay. See if he pops back on there. But yeah, I don't know. I've seen, you know, cut coppers and stuff like that. I just haven't seen, it doesn't seem to be too common with the silver cut coins, you know, especially these dates right here, you know, 1860s. But kind of strange and how rough cut they are. I don't know if Brian lost his signal over there or power or what happened, but we lost him. But anyway, you guys. So Don, as far as the match pieces, I asked him about that, and it doesn't look like anything really matched. He's got these dates of different coins, but he said they had to leave early to get back up the hill because they walked down in there quite a ways. So to get back out, they had to leave early, and there were still signals when they left. So that's why they're going to be heading back tomorrow morning, and see if they can recover some more of the pieces that were there. I'm sure they're going to end up, you know, I don't know how many more pieces he's going to find, but that'll be interesting to find out in his video. So, but you can only hope for something like that. You could call that a cache right there. So that's pretty neat. Right, Patch Ron says he found a 1800 Swiss cut one in Oregon. Wow, Swiss. 1800 Swiss. I don't think I've even seen one before. That's pretty awesome. Okay, Galveston, Texas. Yep. I envy the weather that you have there. I was talking to my wife about that today, that it would be nice to be able to, you know, we're in Idaho here, so if we could be here during the summer months and the nice weather, and then when the weather turns cold and wintry, head off to where I can still detect somewhere, you know, either Texas or Arizona or Florida or something. But anyway, let me try him one more time. I'm going to send him another invite and see if I can get him back here. I don't know what happened. I'll try to get back on. Okay, so he's trying. Control V. Paste it. Okay, so he's trying to get back on here. You know, NorCal Digger. I wish this was my home, but actually what this is a virtual background. What I have behind me right now, and I'll try to, let me see if I can do this. I'm going to try to show you what I've done here. All right, so that's what's actually behind me. I hung up this green screen just the other day. Last week when I did a live stream, I just had plain walls behind me, but I've got some different pictures here now. I could do something like this, where we can be gangsters or something. So I'm using the house here because my wife thought that was probably about the nicest one, but I've also got some other sceneries I can put up here too. She kind of liked that picture too, but just different sceneries, and I can load up just about any picture I want to and put myself in a different element right there. But for now, I'm using this house here. But yeah, I wish that was my home. That'd be all right. Yeah, it is pretty awesome. So, and you can even do green screen videos too, and maybe have a waterfall or something behind you going. And I don't know what that would do for the, I don't know, for my computer speed and stuff. I don't know. But let's see here. Have you done much high desert gold country canyon exploring? I've done some gold hunting in Nevada, down in the Nevada deserts there. And that's about it as far as the gold fields that I've hunted, is just down in Nevada. But I've metal detected in the high Sierras of California as well, in the 49er country. But that's not really desert. That's more high desert. You got your cactus, or not your cactus, but your sagebrush and your big ponderosa pines and stuff, and beautiful country. So greetings from New York. Well, good to have you here. You guys, I appreciate all of you showing up. Hey, look at what we got here.
A catastrophic event.
There's the prodigal treasure hunters.
Children
disappeared.
Yeah, my daughter kicked a little bouncy ball into the router, and it knocked the plug out. So
Yeah, it keeps it interesting that way.
yeah, I'm like, what is going on? This never happens.
Yeah. All right, so we've got Chris Stapley here watching the chat from Salt Lake City, Utah, heading to a ghost town in southern Utah tomorrow. It sounds great. About 48 degrees for the high. Oh, wow. Man, I tell you what, Chris, that sounds like a lot of fun. Still a little bit cool. Dress warm. Take some of those, what do you call them, hand warmers with you or something.
I use those in my construction a lot. Those are nice.
What's that?
I use those in construction a lot.
Yeah. Just about every year I buy my wife a big old package of those hand warmers or whatever, and because she gets cold pretty easy, so she can open up a package and put those in her pocket and stay warm. They are handy, but be good for metal detecting out in the cold like we're trying to do.
Well, I think
I need a jackhammer to get through the frozen ground.
Right.
Okay. Hey, Sodbusters, you had us believing you were an Idaho $1 million man, but come to find out you're just a putter guru. Yeah, you got that right. Yeah, right now I'm in about I guess this room is probably 10 by 12 or maybe a little bit bigger, but it's nothing like what you see in my background right there. That's for sure. So, but I'm still working on getting this little studio set up. Right now, I've got these lights that are right here. I'll kind of try and show you. Well, let's see here. If I can, you'll see it kind of come into frame. You see that? See the lights there?
Yep.
That's in order to get this screen to work, have to have a lot of lighting here. And otherwise it gets real fuzzy looking. But
yeah, you get a lot of shadows and it doesn't
myself.
work right sometimes.
What's that?
You get a lot of shadows and it doesn't really work right sometimes. So you need those big old box lights.
Right. Oh, but anyway. All right. Well, you guys, I'll tell you what, I appreciate you coming on tonight. And does anybody have any questions for Brian or anything that you want to ask right now? I don't want to take up everybody's time tonight, but if you have some questions, oh, wow. Thank you, Dawn.
That's awesome.
That is great. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's awesome. So every once in a while, we get lucky. So
we definitely try hard to add value for you guys. So
you bet. So okay, you got on so late. Did you digging up Carolina's Jeremy? Did you get in on the story though? If you're late, there will be a replay for sure that'll be posted on YouTube. It'll come up pretty soon, I guess, almost immediately, I guess, after we're done with the live stream. But anyway, and again, you guys, what I'll do, let me see if I can do this here. Copy. All right, you guys. To kind of help keep the channel going and stuff, I've got a couple of things going on here. Right here, I am posting a link down in the bottom, and I'd sure appreciate it if you guys would go check out my merch. I've got some different designs. You can see I'm wearing my Sodbusters metal detecting shirt here, and I've got a Sodbusters metal detecting baseball cap. The baseball caps are not on the website. If you want a baseball cap, you'll need to contact me at sodbustersmetaldetecting@gmail.com. And then I can get you set up there. But I've got different designs, just created some new designs there on Teespring. So go check out that merch and see if there's something there you like. I even got some Equinox stuff in there. So
I definitely like your coffee cups. They're pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm going to be ordering one of my own coffee cups here pretty soon. So, but
so Fuzzy was asking a question. How can you tell there was an old house or a town that was there that's no longer there now, basically? So using map overlays, I've got a lot of those tutorials on my YouTube channel, and you basically on some of these websites, they have overlays, and there's like an old map, hand-drawn map, and they have these little black squares that tell you where the old house was, and you've got a little bar where there's like opacity where you can minimize it, and you can kind of see through to a modern map, and it shows you almost exactly where that structure used to be. So it's super helpful. That's what I always go to. Hopefully that helps you. That'll make a lot more sense if you go check out some of my tutorials on those.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm learning too, and trying to find out where a building or a structure used to be, and then locate, even though it may not be there now, it could be on a map of, an older map or something. So I'm trying to learn how to do that now myself. So Right Patch Ron asked, which update do I use on the Equinox 800 and why? They came out with the 3.0 update that was it was meant for finding larger targets over in the UK and stuff, is what they said. But I gave it a shot, gave it a test run for a little while. And for me, I had some issues. So I actually took my Equinox back to the 2.0, and that's what I run. I prefer the 2.0. And for that matter, the original version that they originally came out with would be just fine as far as I'm concerned, because I really don't care about eliminating the bottle caps, and that was the reason why they came out with the 2.0, is to try and eliminate having to dig so many bottle caps and stuff like that. There probably was some stabilization put into that update as well, I imagine, in the 2.0. But as far as that's what I hunt in is 2.0. The 3.0, I found that in my case, and this is not, I've talked to a lot of different people about this, but some people love the 3.0 update. They say that they're finding silver in places that they've hunted for years and years, and as soon as they updated to the 3.0, and all of a sudden they were finding deeper silver. I haven't seen enough proof for myself to validate that it detects deeper silver on smaller coin targets. It's actually meant for larger targets. That's the 4 kilohertz. But I found that my pinpointing was off. If I went to pinpoint a target, it was off by probably 4 or 5 inches every time I tried to pinpoint a target. And I could never seem to dig the target where it was actually at. It was always back behind where the target was. Every target, if it was a pull tab or something like that, it would ring up just like it was a beautiful chunk of silver. And so anyway, I tested it and I ran with it. I uploaded it from the website. I was having issues with it, so I went back to 2.0. I did factory reset and everything else. Re-uploaded factory reset with 3.0, and for me, it was just it just wasn't my preference. It just had some issues that I didn't care for. Like I say, that's not for everybody. A lot of people love it. Some people don't. So that's why I hunt in the 2.0. Hello, Theresa, the treasure hunter. She's got a Facebook page. She's also on what's it called? I can't remember that app.
Instagram?
No, it's not Instagram. Oh boy, I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, she's growing her group, and she's also got a YouTube channel as well. But Theresa, the treasure hunter, yeah, she's
TikTok.
She's involved in all kinds of stuff. So, as far as the treasure hunting community.
Somebody else asked a question. If we have any issues disconnecting the Equinox from the charging cable, and I've never had an issue with that.
Disconnecting the charging cable?
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll feel like it kind of gets stuck there, but I think it's just in the angle that you're trying to pull that off of there.
Yeah.
It's just a magnet, but if you're not pulling it off of the machine at the right angle, sometimes it feels like it just kind of gets stuck right there.
Yeah.
But it's never been an issue for me. It's just kind of like you got to, just kind of a downward and outward pull, I guess, is.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I don't know. Sometimes I just stick my finger on the backside of that magnet plug and just slide it out, But I don't know.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, it feels like kind of locks in there.
A little bit. I'd rather have it feel that way than too loose, honestly. But
Yeah, you want that good connection for sure. Just Detect app. Now I've heard of that. Somebody mentioned that. It has to do with your cell phone. I don't think it would do much good for you though out there hunting for treasure. I don't think it's going to give you what you need really. You might be able to detect a I don't know, maybe a laptop or something on your desk, but for out there searching a ghost town or something like that, I don't know. You might find a big chunk of iron, but I don't think that app is going to do you too much good, really, to be honest. Hello, Chris Perry. There's a lot of people that showed up in here. We're down to 28 right now, but we had I don't remember what we went up to, but we had quite a few people in here. Yeah, it was TikTok that Theresa's on.
yeah,
and she does some stuff on there. But anyway, you guys, I want to show you these pictures here again, just to give you another view of what Brian went out and dug up that day, and he's going back out again tomorrow to see if he can recover some more, because they did have targets left over when they left. So
yeah,
right.
we're excited. Yeah, there's definitely targets, and believe them to be more of those silver fragments. So yeah, I'm pretty optimistic. So
Yeah. Well, watch your back, because you never know. Your hunting partner and stuff, you just never know when they try to recover your treasure.
I'm bringing a sidearm tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah. Baseball bat. You just never know what you might end up with there. But all right, you guys. Hey, I appreciate you guys for showing up on the show here on the live stream. I appreciate everybody who's been here to listen to this story and everything. I was pretty excited when he sent me the story about this, and I said I would love it if you would come on to a live stream and tell everybody else about this, because this is a hunt that would be very exciting if I found that myself personally. And I know your heart must have been thumping when
it was, yeah.
Oh yeah. So, but anyway, you guys, we're going to be doing this live stream. I'm shooting for every Friday. And so if you guys have suggestions, things that you want to talk about, feel free to message me on the YouTube channel, Sodbusters Metal Detecting. You can also email me at sodbustersmetaldetecting@gmail.com. And also, you guys, here's something that's let me put this down there for you. Okay, this here is the Sodbusters Metal Detecting Facebook group. I just posted that link right down there in the comments. So if you guys aren't in the Sodbusters Metal Detecting Facebook group, feel free to join in there, and you guys can post your finds. You can ask questions, whatever, post your YouTube videos, and we just have a great time. It's a good group. Everybody's easygoing. I don't have any issues with people arguing on there or anything. I haven't yet, and I don't intend to. So it's a welcoming group. We'd love to have you there. But
welcome,
anyway.
Craig from Nova Scotia.
Yep. Greetings from Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. Enjoy your videos. Just upgraded to the Knox 800 in November. So summer will not get, it will not get here soon enough. I hear you, Craig. I'm in the same boat. We're just waiting and waiting. But no, you've got a great detector there. Feel free to, if you have any questions, and I'm sure that you've found my tutorials already, but feel free to holler with any questions. I'm always happy to help.
Hey, Larry, do you have any experience with the 6-inch coil or the larger, was it 17-inch coil?
Yeah, what's the question?
Oh, just if you've used the smaller coil or the larger, and what you prefer.
Well, it just depends on the environment, I guess.
Yeah.
If you're hunting tons and tons of iron and stuff, you're going to want to use. Yeah, I would prefer the 6-inch coil because it's going to be better in separation.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to get as well. If you're hunting in a ton of iron, I shouldn't say you're not going to get as much depth, because if you're using a big coil, if your iron is masking targets, then it's not going to matter anyway. So if you get the separation, you may not get the depth that the 17-inch coil is going to give you, or the 15-inch coil. But the separation will be in your benefit. So if you're in cleaner ground and you're looking for that depth, then you're going to want that bigger coil for sure. If you're out there in heavy mineralization looking for gold, I would prefer that 6-inch coil.
There's only one thing I'd recommend. There's only one thing I'd recommend with the EQ. I've never had the problem before. And I read where some fellas had cracked or broken the ears on the 11-inch coil. And all the years I've detected, all the different machines and all the different coils, I've never once had that happen until recently with the EQ. And fortunately, I had the other piece that broke off. I was able to glue it. But I did buy some ear reinforcers.
Mm-hmm.
I got a set from Calico. They call them ear muffs, but that seemed to really bolster up the ears on the 11-inch coil for the Equinox. They seem a little on the thin side. So now on there.
Yeah, the issue with that, I mean, have you replaced the rubber grommets that are on?
Well, see, no, I have extra, but what I did, I also bought some fiber shafts for the Equinox.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just the ear on the coil. You just couldn't really seem to get it quite tight enough, at least for that. But
yeah, and that's the case with a lot of issues with people breaking them, is they're really trying to reef down and tighten it down to get that coil stiffer.
Right, I think that's what happened, sure.
But if you, the way that it's supposed to be with those rubber grommets that are on the shaft, at the end of the shaft there,
right,
where the ears come up alongside, if you can push your coil up to the shaft where it belongs, and without the bolt have that coil stay on to the shaft,
mm-hmm.
then those are good. But if those get worn to where your coil won't stay on the shaft in midair, then they need to be replaced, because those are actually spacers to keep up that space so you can.
Right, and on the original equipment for the Equinox, they have a teardrop shape rubber grommets, I believe they were. I went to an aftermarket shafting, but those reinforcers really have helped. And what I did also with the 6-inch coil, I bought a separate lower shaft, so it's really easy to change them out. But just little things. I do like the 6-inch coil, and you're right, as far as separation is great. And you don't lose a lot of depth, but there's instances where the 11-inch coil, you can't really use it that well in this really trashy area. But the Equinox, the fellow's buying, he's got a good machine, a great machine, and later on I would recommend a 6-inch.
Yeah,
just part of the arsenal.
Yeah, if you could have all 3 coils and that way you're loaded for bear. If you've got heavy iron, or if you need more depth or whatever, the 11-inch coil works great in most conditions. But I go to some ghost towns around here, and even some of the homesteads that we hunt are just loaded with iron. And it's just hard to get that separation. So I know that you're leaving targets behind. But if you can, use that, maybe go over it with the 11-inch coil, and then later on go back with the 6-inch coil and see what you can pick up, because you never get it all, it seems. But
Yeah, I'm definitely bringing that 6-inch with me tomorrow, just in case. But you know, if I get a really heavy concentration of iron, then I can just slap that on there and try to narrow down my targets.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, if you're in heavy iron, and being gold country, you never know. You could be just hunt low and slow. I mean, put that 6-inch coil on, you might be able to pick up some bits of gold out there too. You know,
That would be nice. Yeah.
try to look for some bedrock or something and hunt that bedrock.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, but yeah, you guys, it's been a pleasure. It's been awesome. And I appreciate all of you. So get out there and find yourself some hordes of treasure, you guys, and send me 50%. And
Will do. Yeah.
all right, you guys, I hope to see you next Friday. I'm shooting for 5 o'clock Pacific time in the evening there. So I hope this works out. And again, I'm open for suggestions. If you have any, oh, I think I got another question. Have you noticed different parts of the country, we find different things? Like in New England, they find colonial coins, and out west, they find bells, and down south, Civil War stuff. Yeah. It's just a variety everywhere. And that's why it's important. I mean, a lot of times we look at I try not to hunt with the VDI numbers, because you really don't know what you're going to come up with. I've dug targets. I dug a target this year that I never, or last year now, that I never expected, and that was an 1852 Quebec halfpenny. I had never expected to see that in Idaho. You know,
No.
I don't remember what it rang up as right now. I think it was like a 17, maybe. I don't remember, but you just never know. If it sounds good, dig it, you know, because if it's a number you're hunting by, you're probably passing up some good stuff. But I mean, you can. I've gotten to the point where if I'm hunting a pretty hard hunted area, I'll start digging those signals that normally you wouldn't dig, and actually coming up with some really good targets.
Oh yeah.
So I guess it's the point of how desperate you get. If it's a new area, cherry pick it, and then next time you go back, you can lower your standards and keep going that way until you're digging those iffy signals.
I do that with every permission I get, just because, you know, sometimes I've been kind of like kicked off for not kicked off, but maybe the husband shows up and they, well, I didn't really want to dig it in the yard, you know, stuff like that. So I tend to just zip on through, getting all the cherry, you know, the really good, nice targets, and then go back later if I don't get, you know, booted off and get the iffy signals. But that's the way I kind of do it.
Yeah, you bet. You bet. All right, you guys. Well, you have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon. And I know I didn't say it the last time, and it's getting a little late in the beginning of the year, but Happy New Year to every one of you, and you guys have a great year, okay? And thanks again, you guys, for being on here.
Yeah, thank you for having us, and it's good seeing all you guys on here on the live chat.
You bet. All right, you take care now. We'll talk to you all next Friday.